Same, you and I.
Yeah, same.
Thor Ragnarok funny. Thor Love and Thunder not funny.
Well, kind of both. Like,
Funny. Thor Ragnarok really funny. Thor Love and Thunder hardly funny.
Ever since the teaser for Thor Love and Thunder came out, I was really hyped for it. I was sure following the journey of Thor after Avengers Infinity War and Endgame is going to be exciting, and trailer seemed to promise that. But after watching the movie, I was left disappointed and wishing for more than what we got. I will get straight to the point. Is Thor Love and Thunder the worst movie in MCU? Definitely not.
Oh no.
That privilege still goes to Thor Dark World. But Love and Thunder isn't great either. I mean, the movie has its moment, but it has so many flaws that you cannot enjoy it as whole. One of the pros of the movie is its visuals and cinematography. As disappointed as I was with this movie, it's undeniable that the visuals of this movie were really impressive. There are scenes that are so pleasing to look at due to the cinematography and visuals, and I have to appreciate that. Also, the performances in this movie are mixed. Some are really good and some not so much. Christian Bale as Gore is one of the only saving grace for the movie. He is outstanding in a movie that only wasted his character. I will expand on that later. Natalie Portman as Jane or Mighty Thor had her moments. She shined in the scenes that dealt with the reasoning behind her becoming Mighty Thor, but when she was showcasing the goofy side of her character, I was cringing.
No, 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 no. Wait.
Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson did good job with what they were given. It's not their fault what they got was shit. Now talking about the cons of the movie, the comedy. Thor Ragnarok is the funniest movie of the MCU, no doubt. But even in that movie, some of the jokes felt forced and unnecessary. But it still worked cause rest of the comedic bits were actually funny and they seem to be in control of how many jokes they added in the movie. Thor Love and Thunder tried to do what Thor Ragnarok did but it failed. Now, why did that happen? Were the jokes not good? Well, some were, but most miserably failed to make anyone in the audience laugh. And boy, did they went crazy with how many jokes they added in the movie. It felt like Taika Waititi's paycheck depended on how many terrible jokes he can include in this movie. Personally, I found the conversation between Thor and Guardians bit funny,
Human handshake. Finish the classic high one.
and when goats slam into the planet where Gore is present, that was funny, but that's just it. I mean, if I didn't laugh at the 2010 meme, aka screaming goats, the first time, then I'm not going to laugh when they appear 6 more times. And it becomes more and more annoying each time. And getting Chris Hemsworth naked on screen wasn't hilarious. And the whole Stormbreaker being jealous of Jonathan bit was okay at first. It was okay at first. But then they dragged it thin as paper. Honestly, I'm not here to just bash this movie. I know making an effective comedy movie is tough, and props to them for trying. But having already watched Thor Ragnarok, this movie felt like a disappointment. Also, we cannot take the narrative and the situation serious if the movie isn't taking it serious. Adding jokes in everything will only distract the audience. For example, imagine if I start doing this in the video. So, the movie was
What do you call an alligator invest? An investigator.
alright, and Christian Bale's
I have a joke about pizza, but it's too cheesy.
Gore was outstanding. I wish he got more screen
What do you call a factory that makes okay product? A satisfactory.
time. Did you understood what I just said? No. Adding unnecessary jokes in between your important points will not only ruin those points, but the jokes will be nothing but annoying. Coming to my next point, wasted characters. This movie had the chance to make the best villain of MCU that wasn't set up from earlier movies. They had all the things required to make a great villain. So much lore from the comics, giving him the weapon that can kill the hero, hence bringing stakes to the battle between them and hero going against the villain. A backstory that made us understand his motivations better, and an actor who is counted amongst the best actors of this generation. And what do we get? A villain whose real battle is against the studios trying to cut down his scenes to bare minimum. Gore could have done so much. The scene where Gore is in the cage with the kids was so creepy and terrifying that it scared Kevin Spacey. Then why would they pull a Joker from Suicide Squad on him and cut him to bare minimum? It wasn't some okay performance, it was a great performance. Now, I don't know if it's true, but I read some rumors that they forced Taika to make the movie just 2 hours maximum. Also, I know some people didn't like that Multiverse of Madness was dark and violent. So I'm guessing when it came time to cut down the scenes, they went with gore scenes. Cause while it developed his character, those scenes were also dark.
There's an awful lot that I wish was in this film, which just you can't have a 4-hour long film because there's so much gold that's on the cutting room floor. Hilarious stuff and creepy as hell stuff, but that was perhaps pushing it to a realm where maybe it wouldn't have been able to be family friendly, which we always wanted it to be.
Which is a bummer. I don't understand why they would want a 2 hours movie to begin with. I hope studios realize that a movie can be as long as it needs to be, as long as it is good and keeps the audience engaged. But even if we ignore Gore, the off-screen God Butcher, other characters were wasted too. Valkyrie and Kog had the most inconsistent role in the movie. One moment they are there and the other they are not. When the movie feels the need to have a moment between Thor and Jane, they would just go out of the frame or be in another room. I mean, you can take them out of the movie and it wouldn't have made any difference. Now, talking about the next character from the movie, he's not very important, but I think I should mention him. I'm talking about Thor, of course. You know that dumb blonde guy who was treated like a comic relief in the movie? Yeah, that's Thor, in case you didn't notice. Now, I know he was treated like a comic relief in Ragnarok too, but the problem with Love and Thunder Thor arises due to what happened between the end of Ragnarok and this movie. By the end of Thor Ragnarok, Thor has realized his true potential, and in Infinity War and Endgame, we saw him lose his people, his brother, and he still had hope. And he was still a hero who went to great measures to bring back all the people Thanos snapped out of existence. And while doing so, he went through a journey and roller coaster of emotions that made a more confident and strong character. And I personally think Russo brothers handled the character of Thor the best, because he still joked in those movies and he was involved in some hilarious bits, but they still maintained his serious side. For example, when he called Rocket a rabbit or Groot a tree. It was funny, but it didn't make Thor look like an idiot. And now, after watching Thor in those movies, we follow him in Love and Thunder, and all that character development is snapped out of existence. See what I did there? Anyways, it's not there anymore. Thor is back to being a dumb comic relief for the sake of jokes. Now, coming to the last point of the video, lack of great moments. This one hits the hardest because Thor Ragnarok had so many memorable moments, while this one is pretty forgettable. The beginning of Thor Ragnarok with Thor vs. Surtur, Doctor Strange's cameo, or Hela appearing and breaking Thor's hammer, which made us take her as an actual threat, and the Hulk vs. Thor scene. These are all memorable moments, but the best one is still left. Ending battle at the bridge. This scene was perfect. Everything about it was perfect. Immigrant song playing, Thor in his best form, and that jump strike, it's just amazing. It is one of the best moments in the MCU. Now talking about this movie's amazing moments. None. Only decent moments I can remember are when Thor and Gore come face to face for the first time, and the very ending. Not the ending battle, but the scene after. But these scenes are not comparable to the ones in Ragnarok. It's so strange that the ending battle of Ragnarok was amazing, while this movie's ending battle was so generic and simple. This whole movie felt like someone else tried making a movie using Taika Waititi's formula. Also, I don't know if they had a deal with Guns N' Roses, but it was everywhere in this movie. Three or four of their songs were used. Kids are wearing their shirts. Even a character changes his name to Axel, inspired by the frontman of Guns N' Roses, Axel Rose. So I don't know what's up with that. Anyways, with all the problems I pointed out in the video, I still think it is entertaining enough that you can watch it one time at least. And the cast of the movie did their best, so props to them and the crew. And it is an okay movie, but for the sake of meme of the video, I have to do this. Should have saved it for the Morbius review. Should have saved it for the Morbius review. Well, I guess I will just reuse it. Also, look at this. I'm sorry, but the moment I saw that remade this classic, I knew I had to recall you. I'm not even sorry. Also, I will link this new version in the description, so go check it out. Anyways, that's the end of my rambling. I will see you in the next video. Stay safe, stay blessed. Goodbye.
Welcome to unrealization. We can prepare